All right, we just finished up chapter 2. Get ready for chapter 3. What happened in chapter 2? We found out that Maggie likes to walk dogs after school, and she likes to solve mysteries. The police don't think that there was anything wrong with the window. They think it was just a prank, but Maggie thinks otherwise. She said Felicity and Joshua were acting silly and different, like they weren't supposed to be. So she said she's going to keep an eye on them. All right, let's get started on chapter 3. What now? Asked Milo once the 4 of us had spilled onto the sidewalk. I need to go home and do some serious homework, said Finn, checking his watch. If I don't finish before dark, my mom won't let me go out tonight. I'll come too, said Lulu. I still have to write that English paper for Mr. Dean. You guys didn't finish yet? I asked. Of course not. It's only Saturday. What kind of nerd finishes their homework before Saturday? Asked Finn. No comment, I said, turning red. I did my homework too, said Milo. Really? Asked Lulu. Or are you just trying to make Maggie feel better? Well, I did most of my homework. Milo shrugged his skinny shoulders. I'm lucky because my grandma doesn't care when I do it, as long as it gets done. I'll probably finish Sunday night. That's what I do. You and most people, said Finn. Hey, where did you put your homework, Maggie? Why do you ask? I feigned innocent even though I knew exactly where Finn was going with this line of questioning. I knew not because we're twins and we can read each other's minds. We can't, or at least I can't read Finn's mind, and if he can read mine, he's not telling me. I knew because Finn always tries to copy my homework. This has been going on ever since we started getting homework, in kindergarten or whatever. I can't remember. That's how far back it goes. Nice try, I said, but you're not copying. I never said I wanted to copy, said Finn. I just want to check my answers against yours once I'm finished, to make sure you didn't make any mistakes. Don't sweat it, said Lulu, grabbing Finn's hand. I know all her hiding spots. Cool. I knew there was a reason I hung out with you, said Finn. I shot Lulu a dirty look, but she winked and giggled. You were my friend first, I told her, in only half jest. Don't worry, she called as she pulled my brother away. We're not going to steal your precious answers. And before I could say another word, they took off down the street, leaving me and Milo in the dust. Milo cleared his throat and brushed his floppy bangs off his forehead. Tried to, anyway. They flopped right back down, as usual. I'm heading over to South Paul to check out this month's concert schedule. Want to come? Sure, I said. If we can stop for frozen yogurt on the way. I never got my dessert fix. Sure you did, said Finn. You got it right in the face. Ugh, don't remind me. I ran my fingers through my still sticky hair and tried not to think about the giant brown stain on my shirt. At least my jacket covered it up, for the most part. Chocolate malted is the best perfume around, said Milo. So where are we headed? Wait, culture, right? I shouldn't even bother asking. I grinned. Milo knew me so well, or at least he knows my taste in frozen yogurt. Culture serves the best in Brooklyn, and they've got lines to prove it. Seriously, half our school eats their lunch there. Last time I went, I waited so long I barely had time to finish before I had to head back to class. And in case you were wondering, brain freeze from frozen yogurt is just as painful as the ice cream variety. All right, so Milo and Maggie are headed over to get frozen ice cream or frozen yogurt, and they're going to go check out a concert schedule. Milo and I head straight for culture. When we joined the line, it was humongous. Even today, on this chilly, keep your jacket zipped up all the way Saturday. We waited for a half hour, but the waiting is worth it because their plain tart yogurt with miniature dark chocolates is awesome. Regular chocolate chips aren't anything special, but there's something about having them in miniature that makes them so much better. It's the texture, I suppose. I explained this to Milo as we strolled towards South Paul, a cool and grungy concert hall. It's a 20-minute walk, but I didn't mind, because walking helps me think, and today I had plenty to think about. Said, what was going on at Sonia's Sweets? Who shattered the window and wrote the note? Why were Felicity and Joshua laughing when things were so obviously bad? Did they know something the rest of us didn't? Could the two of them have anything to do with the note, or were they simply wrapped up in their own joke? I needed to investigate, gather evidence, the works. It was just that today, for some reason, I wasn't sure where to begin. When we were halfway to Southpaw, Milo asked, "You okay?" I guess I've been pretty quiet. Sure, just trying to sort things out. You mean about the whole broken window? Well, yeah, and not just that. I kicked a stone and watched it bounce into the gutter. That note was so creepy. Take your cookies elsewhere? Who would write that? What if the police were right and it's all someone's weird idea of a joke? Being silly, someone's idea of a joke? That sounds sort of like a cop out to me, I said. Then maybe it was a Girl Scout. I laughed. I'm serious, said Milo. The note was written on the back of a Girl Scout cookie box. So think about it. Some evil zombie Girl Scout attacks the ice cream parlor. What could be more simple? The case is closed. You're done. Zombie. I grinned up at Milo and asked, "Why zombies?" "Zombies are trendy," Milo said matter-of-factly. "Aren't they?" I shrugged. "I guess so. But don't you think a Girl Scout, either zombie or mortal, wouldn't be so obvious about their crime? Wouldn't she try to use regular paper at least?" "You have a good point," said Milo, "and I'm sure you'll figure it all out. You always do." "Yeah, but usually I start with some sort of clue." "What about the note?" "Sonia's mom has it," I said. "But I bet you'll memorize the words, the color of the ink, the size of the paper, and everything else about it." "True," I said with a nod. "And it's cardboard, not paper, remember? And the writing was extra neat. It was written in pale blue, like the kind of ink that comes from a highlighter, not a regular marker. Probably a wide tip, but perhaps regular size. Definitely not fine point. Plus, the note had tape on top of it. Except it wasn't just taped to the window, obviously. Maybe someone taped it to a rock and then threw it in." "That makes sense," I said. "Except I didn't see a rock. The box was just lying there. But now that you mention it, I actually have no idea what broke the window. I should have looked harder." "We all looked, and we couldn't find anything," Milo reminded me. "Which is almost a clue itself," I said, thinking out loud. How did it disappear so quickly? Maybe someone from inside the shop took it with them. Milo thought about this for a few moments. "Maybe. I'm sure you'll figure it out. You're a natural." "I don't think I am," I said. "Don't put yourself down," said Milo. "That's just crazy." "No, that's not what I meant. I know I'm good at solving mysteries, but it's not because I'm talented. I think I'm good because it's something I like doing. And the more mysteries I solve, the easier it gets. Because solving mysteries is simply what I choose to devote my time to. It's all about focus and hard work and concentration. My dad always says the question you should ask yourself shouldn't be, what are you good at? It's, what do you want to be good at? And how can you make yourself good?" Milo nodded. "I know what you mean. It's the same thing with me in my chess game. I used to be lousy, but I didn't care. When my mom first taught me how to play, I thought it was the most boring game in the world." "So what changed?" I asked. "She got sick, and I had to play the game with her because it was all she had the strength to do." Oh, I never knew exactly what to say when Milo talks about his mom. "She died a few years ago, before I knew him." "Chessboards are easy to bring to the hospital," he said. "Also, you can start and stop, interrupt a game at any moment, then pick up and play days or even weeks later. That's what we had to do when my mom was getting her treatments. Sometimes she was too weak to play, but she always came back to it." Milo stopped talking, and I felt like I should respond, except I didn't know how to. "She sounds amazing," I said quietly, awkwardly. I don't know, Milo said. She was my mom. She was cool, for the most part. I mostly just remember the good stuff. Her curly hair and how it always smelled like coconut, which, it turned out, was from her shampoo. Even though Milo was standing right next to me, his voice sounded a million miles away. She loved chess, and it wasn't until she was gone that I really got into it. It's almost like I wanted to be good for her, even though she's not around anymore. I feel closer to her when I'm playing. That's beautiful, I said. Milo laughed, embarrassed. Whatever. Afraid of saying the wrong thing, I stayed quiet. I don't know that many details about Milo's mom's death, just that she was sick for a while and then she died and left him and his dad alone. Except Milo lives with his grandma now. His dad is in Brooklyn too, but in another part of the borough. The two of them don't get along so well. Milo's grandma is sweet, and she's not even old by grandma standards. Her hair is brown and everything, not white. She bicycles all over town. She's his mom's mom, and I wondered if they look alike, whether his mom liked biking everywhere too. I wanted to know more about Milo's mom, but I didn't want to ask because it seemed rude somehow, or at least uncomfortable. So we walked in silence for the rest of the way, and when we got to Southpaw, Milo picked up two schedules and handed one to me. Scanning it, he frowned. Everything I want to see starts after my curfew. It totally blows. How come concerts have to start so late? I asked. Don't know. Milo crumpled up the schedule and tossed it into the trash. Then he bent down to pet a passing poodle that promptly bared his pointy white teeth and growled. Sorry, said the owner. A hipster in skinny jeans with a tattoo of a dragon on his neck and a bowler hat on his head. He's kind of a jerk sometimes. Don't take it personally. I won't, said Milo, replying, standing up straight again. The jerky poodle reminded me of something, and I couldn't remember what. Oh, wait, that's it. Dog walking. I've got to go walk No Farm this afternoon, I said. But it's Saturday. Don't you take weekends off? Asked Milo. Usually, but No Farm's family just moved, so they asked me for the special favor. So she said she needs to go walk the dog, which she likes to do. Yeah, go walk No Farm. What time are you supposed to be there? Milo asked. I checked my watch. 10 minutes ago? Let's go, he said. Milo and I sprinted all the way to 8th Avenue and Carroll Street. An uphill journey, I'd like to note. Once there, I bent over and tried to catch my breath. Tried being the key word in the last sentence. I was huffing and puffing, sweat pooled at the small of my back, and my legs felt achy from sprinting. I gazed up at the building. No Farm's family had moved to a 5th floor walk up. I wasn't yet ready for the steps. Milo didn't seem to be either. His hands were also on his knees. He squinted at No Farm's place. A beautiful but run-down old mansion made of large red bricks. The staircase leading to an oversized double front doors was wide and sweeping. 3 tall spires met up at the top to form the roof. They were super pointy, as if poking into the sky above. This is where they live? He asked. Not the whole building, I said. It's a bunch of apartments now. I walked towards the front steps and started to climb. Hold on, Milo said. Do you know what this place is? I turned around and faced him, wondering why he hasn't moved. I just told you, I said. It's No Farm's family's new building. Are you coming, or would you rather wait for me down here? Neither, said Milo, gazing up at the place with dread. Why not? I asked. Because that's not only No Farm's new building, said Milo. It's Brooklyn's most famous haunted house. All right, that's the end of chapter 3. So they didn't really figure out much more about the note from the ice cream shop. Maggie just remembered the handwriting. And now we have a haunted house. And it seems Milo is afraid. He's afraid of the haunted house, haunted mansion. I guess we'll see what happens in chapter 4.